Ramones, also a list of all the bowling alleys, and the Ramones greatest hits, all the stuff in more volumes 1 and 2. And so I grew up listening to the Ramones like every kid does in Queens. And I was a metalhead as a kid, but I drastically believed that I had the soul of a punk. And so I was so ready to go. I had wanted to see them for almost a decade, and I wanted to hear Blitzkrieg Bop, and I wanted to beat on the brat, and I wanted to hear Rockaway Beach. I grew up going to Rockaway Beach. When I moved to Massachusetts, my friends didn't believe me that Rockaway Beach was a real place. So, but first I needed an ID. I didn't have any ID that said I was 21, I don't drive. And I had to go to the registry, and there's only one day between the show and when she gave me the ticket that I could get to the registry. And so I go and I drop all my documents. I'm like, here for my ID, I'm 21. And the woman looks through my documents and she said, there's nothing here with your address on it. And I don't know what happened. I left it home, I neglected to, anyway, and she said, do you have anything on you? I was like, please, I have to see the Ramones. I have to see the Ramones. She's like, well, do you have anything on you? A bill, a medical bill, a tuition bill, a utility bill? I said, I have all of those things in my apartment. So I started going through my coat pockets because I had grabbed mail. Sometimes I grab mail and shove it in my pocket and leave it there and don't look at it. And that's why my bills are always late. And so I go through the mail in my pocket looking for something, and it's all just junk, it's shit. I was like, any of this? She's like, no, it has to be like official. But there's a birthday card for my grandparents. And I said, look, it's addressed to me, and it has a canceled stamp and a postmark. I said, it's mail, it's real mail. She said, I can't. And I said, I have to see the Ramones. And she said, give me the card. And she goes to talk to her supervisor, and she's over there, and I can see she's pleading my case. And she comes back, and she says, I'm gonna give you the ID. So I get to go to Avalon on Lansdowne Street, which was a great club, another club that is now gone. And we get to the front door, and it's more people than I've ever seen in Avalon. And my friend and I, we make our way, we burrow our way through the crowd. She wants to be in the pit in front of the stage. I don't want to be in the pit in front of the stage, because when you are elbow height of the immediate world, it's not good to be within throwing distance. So I'm going to stand to the side of the pit, which is on a carpeted area, and it's a step up. So Ramones come out, and they roar into Blitzkrieg Bop, and the crowd goes wild. And I get shoved off the step into the pit. And a pit, if you've never been in one, it's like a tornado. You just get swept up in it. So I'm trying to get out, and some very nice people pull me out and throw me back up on the step. And I get thrown in again. Same thing. And it happens like 4 times, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. So there happens to be a railing around, a U-shaped railing around the floor. I go, I'm gonna stand in front of that railing so that I can't get pushed onto the floor. So I make my way through, and I push and shove and claw my way through, and now I'm in front of the railing. The only problem is I can't get pushed onto the floor, but the crowd is moving like a singularity. Like everybody is, and you no longer have any control over your movements. If you've ever gone to see the tree at Rockefeller Center at Christmas time, you understand what I'm saying. Just a sea of people. And so I'm in front of the railing, and now I'm just getting banged up into the railing like a wave crashing against the rocks. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna fall down, but I think my ribcage is gonna explode, so I gotta get out of here. So there's the wall, the back wall in the distance. I'm like, if I can make it to the back wall, I'll be okay. And when you're short, one of the advantages of being short in a crowd is you can just sort of put your head down and bulldoze through the crowd. The disadvantage is, in a very crowded area, it's hard to breathe because your head is below everybody. So I'm pushing my way through. I'm not making it to the back wall. I'm pushing through. I'm having a hard time breathing. Plus, I'm having anxiety, so I'm like hyperventilating. And on my way, I bump into a very large, tall man who I believe was Brett Milano, who was a longtime writer for the Boston Phoenix, which was Boston's alternative newspaper. And I look up at him, and he sees me, and now everything's happening in slow motion because I am about to faint. And he says, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, and he says, "Let's get you out of here." And he grabs me by the hand, and he just muscles his way through the crowd. He's a giant. And he pulls me out, and he deposits me outside the club. So now I'm standing outside on the curb, and I'm breathing. And thinking, as I'm trying to catch my breath, I already missed the concert. I only got like 4 songs into it. I didn't even hear Rockaway Beach. And this is my birthday present. And this is Ramones' final tour. One of their final tours. I'm standing there and I'm like, maybe I can go back in. And I go stand kind of in the doorway. I look at the sea of people and I'm like, I don't think I can do it. But then I realize I can hear them just fine. I can hear them here better than I could hear them inside, crushed against all the people. And I look at the bouncer and I go, which is universal sign for can I stay here? He gives me this little like brief nod, which means yeah, but don't tell bad later. So I stand by the door and I listen to the whole concert and I hear Rockaway Beach and I can breathe freely and I'm not drowning in anxiety and I'm no longer stuck in a wave that I can't get out of. And the concert ends and people start pouring out and Kelly comes out and she goes, what happened to you? I was looking for you. And I said, oh, I was just, I was around. And that's how I got to save my 21st birthday.